Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and today we are working on the final video of the Orchard Town build. So after this video, both sides of the orchard are gonna be completely done, and I'm so grateful. You know, we managed to do this series. We managed to make it the way that I envisioned, with more stuff than I planned, but everything came out really good. The way the sprinklers are working, the layout, the spacing that we have, the way everything is tying together, when everything is completely bloom with all the fruits and all the flowers, it looks really fantastic. I think it came out better than I ever hoped that it was gonna come out at this moment in time, with all the items that we have. And I can't wait for the future, when we, in the next content, in the next update, we get items that we might be able to use and come back and restructure a little bit more. Maybe we get more items that are orchard related, or maybe some other type of fruit trees that we can actually use and do in this area. But also, one of the reasons I'm excited that this part of the series is done, because we're getting closer and closer to work on our coastal town, and that's truly where my mind is slowly going. As I've been working on the orchard, slowly I've been thinking about the coastal town, and on my separate time I've been working on collecting palm wood, collecting the resources that I'm gonna be needing. So as you guys are listening to this video, don't forget, start collecting your palm wood, start collecting things that you're gonna need for the next build that we're gonna be working on, because that one's gonna be a big project. We're gonna be doing row layouts, we're gonna do the spacing. The main part that I'm thinking when we start working on that is gonna be layout, and we're gonna be placing where I think things are gonna go in this town. And right now, the 3 buildings that I'm planning to move to that town is gonna be Sally, Thread Space, and Melvin, the furniture store. So those are the 3 stores that I'm planning to move over there. We're gonna do also special unique things for the town. And yeah, so at the moment, that's the plan, right? So right now, this video is gonna be, we're gonna be just finishing and adding everything that we need to add to make this completed. There were a couple of changes on both sides. We are gonna be removing some of the lights. We're gonna be adding benches on the outside. We're also gonna be adding some bird fountains and just a couple of tweaks here and there to make it feel more officially completed. And then at the end of this video, we're gonna be moving on. So, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the series. I hope that you guys are following it and good. Also, a lot of you have commented that you are starting a brand new island. And I'm excited because since we're gonna be redesigning a whole little town, this could be the beginning for you guys to get inspired and to follow along. And then as you're following along, to tweak the new town in such a way that you wanna do some of the few things. But if you're stuck, hopefully those new videos that are coming up will help you get unstuck and get inspired. Okay, so as you're watching, everything that we're doing is mainly duplicating what we have on one side and of the other. There's nothing much different just yet, besides just adding everything that we were missing. So we're adding all the flowers. We're gonna be adding the flower pots. We're gonna be one new thing that I did with the flower pots, I did put like a couple more in more strategic places to fill up a little bit more of the gap around the water tanks. And I think that for me it may be a little bit too much greenery, but I tried some of the flowers and none of them I like, so I kept the green. So in the future, if we get a new flower, if we get something else that we can plant, or if I get something that I can put in those corners or on top of the pillars, then I will replace that. But at least I got the item in place for the future, and that will come down the road when we get the latest updates and the next things that James was gonna include. And who's excited for that, right? I mean, 2023, right? let's get it. Let's get all this new content that we are waiting for. Also, before we also move to the next part of the coastal town, I am gonna finish just a little bit more. That might be a shorter video. We're gonna finish the little river that is connecting to the town entrance, that's connected to the museum riverbank, and maybe do a little bit on the double bridge entrance that leads to the town hall. We're gonna work on both sides to do a little bit of greenery, just that way it doesn't look so flat and empty and unfinished, because it's supposed to be the grand entrance, you know, when you go to the town hall. And we might do that since I'm still collecting the resources that I need for the coastal town, at least for the initial layout. And I'm actually right now on my notebook, I'm trying to map out the idea of the layout, at least the first part. So when we do the first video, I will have the first initial part area, and we can just the layout, and that's what I'm working on. So while I'm doing that off camera, I'm gonna be just doing maybe one more video, so we can just kind of finish the tree line and stuff in the front, so everything looks good. So when you're walking down the middle of both orchard and you're heading towards the double bridge, instead of being just plain and nothing and just dirt and grass, we're gonna do maybe some bushes, some trees. I haven't decided which, but it's gonna be some type of greenery, just that way it looks good. And then we're gonna complete that river that I talked about during Dinkum talk video. If you want to refer to that video so you understand what I'm talking about on that river that's gonna connect to the river that leads to the museum, go ahead and check that video out, because that video talks about the future plans. It talked about this orchard, and it talks about the idea of the different towns that I kind of want to do. And if you get to listen to it, let me know how those ideas sound to you. But yeah, so right now I've been talking about what's coming up in the future, because everything that I'm doing right now is still kind of repetitive of the previous videos. So I'm using this time to catch up on what are we planning, where are we heading in the next couple videos, and builds and future. And yeah, we finally hit over 100 subscribers. So that's very exciting. The channel continues to grow. The positive feedback in comments and in likes, you guys have been amazing. I love reading all those comments and how you guys are getting inspired, how you guys are pushing your orchards, how you guys are using the ideas of the town layouts to improve your town. Some of you already replied that you guys are starting a new island, so you guys can plan better, so you guys can use the space more in the Dinkum map. And there's nothing wrong of using small spaces, but right now Dinkum is such a big map. So my idea was, and always been, let's use the map. There's no need to make things so close. There's no need. Let's make it spacious. And then my style of building right now is to make things a little more realistic. Like if you're actually walking down, you want to have a sidewalk, you want to have the space, you want my roads. I wanted to, at least the tractor that we have in Dinkum will drive down the roads. That's why I make him 3 roads wide, and then we have sidewalks. So if you guys are watching these videos, you guys are watching this series, once again, my builds are always gonna be more in the realistic side, but at the same time they're always gonna be a model and for inspiration for you guys, so you guys can take it. If you guys are stuck, duplicate it and then add your own twist to the build once your inspiration comes. Don't forget, Dinkum is an amazing game that gives you the freedom for you to build the way you want to build, to decorate you want to decorate, to use the items you want to use, be creative, be unique, make it the way you want. Not everything has to be realistic and perfectly placed. Everybody has their own style, and don't forget that. And that's part of what makes this game amazing. And then when we're searching and we're seeing all these other creators that are being involved in the Dinkum community, you can see their builds. Some of them are so amazing and clever and just a wow factor that and because that's their style. And all those videos, all those creators, everybody that right now is supporting the game is building things that are going to be so unique and inspiration. And go ahead and see them, follow them, send them, encourage them, because right now we're building this community. I've been part already of some channels and just popping in, saying hi. And the community right now, the community of Dinkum is wonderful, and it's being built up from the ground up. Right now we are the ambassadors right now of this community, and we're here supporting creators, we're here supporting people that are just playing the game, talking about the game, and creators are supporting creators and talking about them. And yeah, and it's been a wonderful experience to be involved with all of you, and talking in the chats, and just listening to you guys during the chats, and giving ideas, giving support during the live streams and all that. So I want to say thank you once again to all of you that are out there and supporting the game, supporting the creators that are working on this game, and at the same time you guys are playing the game and being motivated to build amazing islands. So yeah, so I just wanted to say a big thank you and all that. Okay, so let's go back to the video and see what are we doing. And for what you saw, right now we're doing some of the tweaking aspect of the build. I'm adding the last section on this side of the orchard. So just duplicating the same fence that I have on the other end over there, we're gonna do it over here, so we can have the right lineup, so we can put the right lineup for the lights. And then in some areas I took out some of the extra iron fence because it made it to me too much iron and too much cement, and it wasn't looking pretty, let's put it that way. So what I did was I replaced some of the iron and put some hedges in between, and just to break it. And to these days, everybody that's been following the videos, everybody that's been following the series, you guys know that my favorite combination right now is the hedges and the iron fence. There's something about it, they come the right height. I like the iron fence look, I like the way the gray and the green just blend together. I like the elegant look that gives to it at the same time. So you guys know it's my favorite combination. It's gonna be one of those fences that I use a lot. But don't forget, you guys can use whatever fence you guys want. This is just the guideline. So, but if you're stuck, just do what you see right now and then tweak it later. But yeah, so for right now, all we're working is on the layout, on finishing the actual fences, because eventually we're gonna put a row on this other side for future expansion that is not planned right now. Right now we're finishing this core part of the island, and then we're gonna be moving on to our coastal town. But yeah, so and yeah, so that's what we're doing right here. It's just lining everything up so we can put those lights in the proper way. And as you can see, I'm actually replacing some of those iron fences with the green. So and for me, I do like the way it's looking. We're adding the green grass, and then my idea was on the outside, the rest of the orchard, on the outside of the orchard, we're gonna put the road, we're gonna put sidewalk, but the rest on the outside, I'm not gonna continue using this green grass. I'm going back to the normal natural grass that's supposed to be for this area. The idea is the orchard has water, right? We have all these sprinklers, so that's why it's extra green in those areas. And then on the outside it's gonna be the yellow. So when I work on the next little video that we're gonna make, just finishing the double bridge entrance with some greenery, I'm gonna use the yellow grass because I don't want everything just to be completely green. And also when you put up the map, we are like in a desert area in a way, so I'm still wanna keep that aspect, and I wanna keep that contrast that when you're walking, you're like, oh, this part is green, but the rest of this area, and it's because, oh, there's sprinklers here, oh, this is close to a river, that's why it's a little extra green, because it's taking water from the river. But then when you go back out, it's a little more dry, and it has that yellow grass that we see right there, right? So and that's my idea. You guys don't have to follow that. You guys can make your whole island green, and it's very pretty when people do that, and it looks great. But I want to use all the resources that we have, and I want to make different variations. And as you're walking, not everything just looks the same. Not everything just looks green, 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 green. I want variety. So when we work on a coastal town, right, we're gonna be using the tropical grass. It's a little more neon, it's a little more vivid, but I'm gonna use sand, and we're gonna use the tropical grass. So instead of being normal dirt, we're gonna use sand, and we're gonna use the tropical. And then some areas maybe around one of the buildings, we want to use this darker green grass because it's a little bit more fancy, like if they planted that on purpose, because it's a business, so they can afford it, and then they can afford that better grass. And that's what I want to do. I want to create contrast, not just the same thing. I want variety, I want color, I want when you're walking down, you know, even if you're not looking for it, even though you're not searching for it, but there's something about it that when you're walking, there's multiple different levels of everything, and that's the idea. So I'm just giving you a heads up that that's part of the change, or why I don't want you to feel like, oh, he forgot to put the green grass here. No, it's mainly on purpose. There's gonna be some areas that it will have different type of grass. It's kind of what I want to do. It's just play with it, you know. I may hate it, you know, and I may not like it, and that's part of it. But that's part of the building process. That's part of the decoration process. It's sometimes a give and take, and sometimes it may work and may not work. But I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out really well, since this island, at least this first one, is gonna be more in the realistic aspect. So I know we are in a desert place. So I want to use that contrast, have some areas that look kind of dry, and then areas that we got water and all that. It's gonna be more green. So right now, as you've seen, we went ahead and put in the road that's gonna be here. Of course, it's not leading to anywhere right now. It's just I knew there was gonna be a road on this end. Eventually, at some point in the future, we are gonna expand. We're gonna keep expanding because we want to use the whole island. It could be a field, it could be a big bill. We don't know what's gonna be there in the future, but at some point in the future, we're gonna come back over here and do amazing things. But I knew I wanted to finish the road here. We have the dead end road on the other end right there too. It's just a road that ends at the moment. It's not leading to anywhere. Eventually right here, we are gonna design a bridge that's gonna connect to that little island over there. So that's gonna be part of it. And yeah, so now what you're gonna be looking at is the same thing we did in previous video. Is I ended up liking it. I have for my vision, it worked out really well. A lot of you guys commented and liked the look of connecting the dirt, and it looks like it's just all one connected together. Oh, and another big change that I did on this side that I ended up liking it, in the other side of the farm, of the orchard, on where we got all the bushes, the green, the yellow and the red ones, I put the sprinklers on the outside, right on the edge. And on this one, I wanted to test it, and I put it in between the bushes, and then so we have a sprinklers, and then we have a garden light, sprinkler and garden light. And I actually ended up liking that look a lot. So that's another change that we ended up doing. We ended up taking it out from the way we have it originally on the original first half of the orchard, and I removed them. So, and that's something that we're gonna be seeing here. And once we get to that point of the video again, when we get a little bit closer, we'll go over it again. But at the same time, you're gonna see it on the video how I moved them, and I feel like I liked it better instead of being just on them on the outside. And maybe in the future, maybe I'll plant something on that other end that is that space that's between the hedges and the bushes, right there. Maybe I plant the same bushes again, and that way it looks even fuller. Or if in the future we get another type of fruit tree or something like that, maybe I'll do something else different. At the moment, I am gonna leave it, but right here, you see how I have it? We have the sprinkler, light, sprinkler light, and also on here I went ahead and took out the grass in between and just make it all one row of dirt. And truly I just like the look. I just like that now we have green and a little bit of more brown, and it's just not just all green, and it's a, for me it's kind of the best way to describe it. It's like a multi-level dimension thing. It just gives more depth when I'm looking at the build. But of course, like I always say, don't forget, if you guys like it all green, if you like just like the patches of circle, if you guys just want to cover all completely green, go ahead and do it, because that's what's gonna make even your build more unique than mine, and that's part of it. So don't forget, be creative, do exactly what you want to do, and if you're stuck, just follow along. But see, this one is the old, the original orchard, the first half, and you see how I had the sprinklers on the outside. If you like it on the outside, leave it on the outside, but I went ahead and put them on the inside. I feel like I like the look more. On the outside you will see the water more, and if you like that and you want to see the water more, leave them on the outside, because once you put them in between, you're gonna see less of the water compared with when they're sticking on the outside. But yeah, it's another minor tweak that we did here, but I think it's a tweak that makes a little more sense when you look at real orchards online and you see how they got the water laid down. It's usually very close to the plant, to the trees, to whatever they're trying to water, and this way it made it a little more realistic to the build. And so that's another change that we went ahead and did over here. That way it just goes a little more realistic. So now the other thing that I was trying to figure out is what I wanted to do in these corners. In the previous video we were talking about a couple ideas, maybe trees, maybe another fruit tree, maybe a statue and stuff like that, maybe flags. And off camera I did try different approaches to it, and then I built some of these flags that we ended up using in the museum as well, and I put them over here, and it hit me. I was like, I like this, I like the flags. And I like that the poles matches like some of the outside of the lights, and I was like, you know what, this looks really good. And I went and I made a lot of these flags. I used almost all the resources that I had that I've been collecting for a while, and yeah, and we put them in and on all the corners. That way they're facing, some of them are facing like inside, some of them gonna be facing the road. So it just depending where I was, it's gonna be facing a direction. Normally they're facing the road, but if it's an entrance, I had them facing inside the entrance, like kind of facing each other. So when you walk, you're walking in between like the two flags. And yeah, and that was one of the new add-ons that we did on this build, and I feel like it did really good. Here I noticed that I needed to fix a little bit more of the lights. They weren't aligning exactly, they were aligning the way they're aligning in the front, so we did a little tweak. And I already noticed that I'm missing some hedges in between some of the iron, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that in the future, so everything is nice and even and the way it's looking on one side and the other. But yeah, but adding those flags, I feel like it gave it a touch, and I'm not overdoing it with the look at that dog. I'm not overdoing it with too much greenery, and when you look at the flags right here, it looks really nice, and it just gave it that touch, that feel for me, that it was nice and not overdoing it, and it makes sense with the build, everything that we are doing right there. So now the next thing that I wanted to do is, I don't know if that's gonna be right here coming up, but we're gonna add some benches on the outside in front of the town entrance, right? So I'm gonna take some of the in the big spaces where we have two in between the lights, where we got two spaces, that is gonna get fixed, and we're gonna add some benches in there. We're gonna have edges in the back, and it's gonna give it that nice look, like if you're walking in this, especially in this front that we have the double sidewalk, so we have that extra space. It's gonna feel like really good to be able to fit there. So I went ahead and I just saw I had 2 extra flags on the front and the entrance because I wanted to test it out to see if it was gonna look good, but I felt like it was overdoing it because we already got 2 on the entrances, so I ended up taking them out. I took those 2 out because instead of being like this, I felt like right here, I felt like it was a little too much having those 2 in the front and the 2 when you walk in. So I took them out. That way, I think I like it more like this, and then we work something else in the future. So now what we're doing is adding the bird bath. I didn't know what I wanted to add in between every pole, but I knew I wanted something. I didn't want just an empty space, but I wanted something subtle, something that it could be easy to miss as you're walking, but at the same time, if you notice that it will look pretty. And I was thinking, you know, the bird bath. I think the bird bath will look really, really nice. The only downside is I didn't have enough materials to make all of them that I needed. So what I ended up doing is taking the 2 that I put in that goes next to the entrance. I took those out for now. In the future, if I make more, I'm gonna add them back on there in those corners. But for now, in those entrances, I went ahead and added some the fern flower base pot, and that's why I just added right there for now. Just that way it's not empty and we got something in there. But I think in the future I do want to make more bird bath and put them in those entrances, and those is like some of the lasting little details that I need to do, but all that will be done off camera. Right here is where we're gonna be adding these nice little benches. It breaks it up. I think it just gives you another seating area outside, and I liked it. I think it feels a little more city-like when you're working, when you go to a city and you go to a big park. A lot of times around the park on the outside, facing the main streets, there's benches, you know, and people sit on there. And we never know if in the future James is gonna add like street signs, street lights, maybe kind of like a little building that looks like a bus stop or stuff like that, and then we can add that to the build. So I just wanted to feel like a little more city-like. So, and that's why I wanted to add also those benches there, and also because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to plant there. Originally, maybe I was thinking more trees. I tried the flags, but it was way too many flags, so I didn't like the feel of it. And I started thinking, you know, what if I add benches? I don't have any seating area on the outside, and it worked out great. The space was perfect, and like I always, in most of my benches, I like, if I can, I like to add the hedges on the back of the benches, and that made it look a little bit more. It just gives it, again, like I always say, a little more dimension behind it, a little more to see, to break it up. But that's also a style, right? It's a style that I do end up liking. And if you don't like it, if you like it just with the bench and empty so you can see through it, go ahead and do it like that too. Because either way, it's gonna work out on the layout. And it's just item placement, and my item placement might be different than yours, but at the same time, there's not a wrong or a right. Okay, so right now, then this is where I was adding the last couple flower pots, because some of those empty corners, some of them were kind of bothering me, but I didn't want to just put flower pot in all the other corners. I just kind of wanted to hide it a little bit more, especially in the areas that you actually stand and kind of look. And then on the top of the pillars that are more like decoration pillars, I wanted to see what it looked like if I added something on the top, and that way it gives a little bit more of a height to it. And I did ended up liking it, and I'm gonna use one of my favorite seeds, that is the bush in the greenery, because the bush inside this particular flower pot, I like the way it hangs. I like those extra like vines of the bush that are just hanging, and it looks so full, so nice, and I do like it. Now, like I said, I think earlier in the video, it's a lot of green, right? It's especially the ones on the top. It kind of blends in with the tree, so I know that it's not the most optimal way to decorate. It's just not working the best, but we are going to, in the future, depending if we get flowers or another type of bush, that can be replaced. But the placement of the item, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. So it's gonna stay for now. But as you're building it, and if you're following along, do exactly what you built. Right here, I did a little test because I forgot to try that one. Did not like it, so I went ahead and put the bush. But whatever you're doing, if you're following it, use whatever it really hits you, whatever moves you, whatever inspires you, and you're looking at you like, you know what, I like this. This goes well with the way I am, the way you decorate, the way you think, and that's where you wanna approach. It's that feeling that you get when you are decorating. But yeah, so right here we are looking at one more time the way everything is looking. We're looking at the map. We're gonna see that I did work on that, but I didn't put it on this video. I actually kind of edited it out a little bit because I didn't want to show that on this video, because I'm gonna put that on the next video. But yeah, we are officially done. The orchard is complete. Both sides are completed. All the water is running. Everything is looking great. The town is more officially completed now in this area. In this front right here, we got the entrance. We're gonna work on the two sides right here of the double bridge entrance, and that's gonna be the following. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we're gonna see you next time. All right, see you later. Bye.